Okay. Right, this studio is a mess at the moment. It's like a minefield. I've got tripods and light stands and microphone wires absolutely everywhere while I organize myself. So I'm shooting with a 50mm so you guys can't see any of that. Anyway, the question today is, how do you create a signature photography style? Now, this is a really interesting question, and I've had this email in my inbox waiting for me to answer it for a while because I kind of sit on the fence on this one. Like, I certainly appreciate how some photographers remain consistently laser focused with their style over really long periods of time. Like Joey L's desaturated color grade jumps to mind here. A Joey L photo is really easy to spot. It's always clearly a Joey L photo, and there's no doubt that's powerful. But I think Joey L might be more the exception than the rule here. Let me try and explain myself a bit. By fixing visual elements of your photography, be that a color grade or a light setup, you're effectively limiting your ability to be creative. Now, I can see a few obvious issues with that. Your next project may not look optimal under those constraints. So imagine, say, that you've set your stylistic signature to be this desaturated look, and then all of a sudden you get the opportunity to shoot, say, the characters from a superhero movie. Well, that's not going to work so good in this kind of desaturated color palette. It's going to be way better with vibrant colors. So you're going to have to choose. Do you go with your style, or do you go with what suits the project? The same would go for a photographer that, say, has a signature light setup like Joel Grimes. Now, Joel's an amazing photographer, and his work is equally quite easy to spot. But sometimes I'll look at his photos when he has that signature 3-light setup, and I'll think, was that really the best choice for that specific situation? I mean, I'm always looking to grow as a photographer, and for me, growth means change. So deciding to actively limit what I can do seems kind of counterproductive to me. Okay, let's say you're okay with these compromises. How would you then go about creating your own signature style? Well, I've had a bit of time to think about this, and there's really only a finite number of variables you can control in photography, and in theory, focusing on any one of these could be the basis for a distinct look. So let me pick out a few examples and kind of talk through some ideas on how you might be able to pick a style based on one of these. I'll start with the trending one, which is color grading. I love color grading. I spent a lot of time working in color theory, and color grading has become really popular because it can bind photos together that might otherwise not work as a series. Some Instagram photographers have just picked this wacky out there color grade and applied it across the board to all their photos, which certainly makes their work unique, it certainly makes it identifiable. Whether it's the best choice for individual photos is another question. You could also choose to stick to a specific visual style or concept, so maybe go for minimalist or maximalist, which probably isn't a word, don't look it up. Either way, let's talk about minimalist. I've got some talented friends who do nothing but this type of photography, and I can always recognize their work on my Instagram feed, which is the point. Again, you then have to stick to a minimalist style for a long period of time. There's also subject matter, which is pretty much the closest I come to being consistent with anything. You could focus on something broad like me, like say cultural photography. There's famous cultural photographers like Jimmy Nelson, Art Wolf. They've been doing this their whole career. You could also visit the same theme over and over again, do something like Spencer Tunick does with his public nude scenes. In fact, while I'm talking about subject matter, I'd say you can't choose something wide like landscape photography. You need to go more specific, maybe like a sub-level down, like underwater landscape photography, something that's specific enough that you just sticking with that style will make people recognize you. There are so many other options though. You could consistently use a really narrow depth of field in your photos, or only shoot with a crazy wide angle lens, or decide to keep your body of work like high key or low key, and many more, I'm sure. So, am I recommending creating your own signature style? Like I said, I'm on the fence here, but if I was pushed for an answer, I would say that limiting your creativity is a bad idea in general. Instead, focus on creating the best work you can. Work that satisfies you on like a really deep personal level. That seems like a much healthier goal to me. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Something in the comments, DM me. Speak to you guys later.